with another video. Today we got y'all boys with the best swing animations in NBA 2K25. In this video we're gonna go over everything you need and more when it comes to layups, dunks, jump shots, drill moves, shot animations, or shot creator animations. It doesn't really matter. Everything you need and more, even motion styles. Y'all do need more videos like this. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. All that good stuff out the way though. Without further ado though, man, let's just hop into it. If you buying anything on Fortnite, Epic Games Store, use code YaboiFitz. I don't know why I ain't been had this, but yeah. Hopping into it. Alright, so hopping into it. When it comes to jump shots, I kind of gloss over some important things sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie. Shot timing profile. I run high risk. If you struggle shooting on this game, I would personally recommend normal or low. Based off what I go against, when I try it for myself, if I'm not greening, I'm breaking. But when I play against people, they making whites. I played against a dude that went 8 for 9 with low risk hitting whites. I had to look at bro's stuff. He didn't even have high ratings. I don't know. The RNG in this game is at an all-time high. Don't get me started on how I feel about 2K25. But the shot timing profile is there to help people that do struggle with shooting. So if you struggle with shooting, the more you struggle with it, the lower I would have it on. Real play percentage you cannot use online, so do not worry about that. Difficulty base is just going to be based off the game mode you're playing. So I would really more so go low risk, normal, or high. High if you really know your jump shot. Normal if you're not super consistent. And low if you just cannot shoot. Simple as that. Alright, and here, the shot timing visual cue. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, I be forgetting. Hopefully, I put this in the video. But the shot timing visual cue is so important. I was finna say something crazy. I be changing this a lot. At one point I beat set point. When I tested all the stuff, I went from push to set point. I'm back to release. I'm telling you, only when I really don't mess with that much is jump. But what I'll say is, you gotta understand how all these work. So I'm gonna put what Mike Wang himself said for how these work in terms of the shot visual cue and how you're supposed to be timing these jump shots on NBA 2K25. Because this is genuinely exactly how you're supposed to be timing it. It's not based off muscle memory. They change and fluctuate, but what is gonna be the same every single time is that visual cue when you gotta release X, rhythm shoot, whatever it is, for when you're trying to time your jump shot. Simple as that.
Jump is the point where your player's toes leave the floor. Set point is when the ball is raised up above the head before the shooting motion begins. Push, which is the default setting, is when the shooting motion is underway and the ball is being pushed forward. And release is the point just before the ball leaves the shooter's hand.
And then last but not least, you gotta understand if you wanna use meter or not. I personally would recommend not using meter. When my friends get the game and they kinda don't know their jump shot, I kinda tell them to use meter. But I do feel like this year, no meter is nice to have. But if you have to put on meter to get used to your jump shot, I would put on meter so that you can start getting used to it, because the entire point of visual cue is just the jump shot meter, but it's just your player. If you can't really get used to the shot visual cue, I even sometimes be considering putting meter on. I never really do it, but yeah, sometimes I ain't gonna lie. Jump shot meter is nice to have. So if you don't want that extra little 15% shooting boost, I believe it is 15 to 20% shooting boost it gives you without having meter, I would advise using the meter. Now, when it comes to the meter, I do use dial. I use this for my dunks, but I've been meaning to change that to arrow. So I'm gonna actually do that mid video. But yes, that is what I use. Now let's get to the jump shots. All right, so we following the same thing we did for the guards over here with the swings. Now for the swings, it's something I gotta really break down because there's a jump shot that's very similar to another jump shot. So let's get into it. So when it comes to the swings, we got a couple different releases. We're just gonna go through this real smooth. First base. I don't really think this is the best base in the game anymore for swings, honestly. I love Ray Allen still, but I do think there's another one. I'll be switching back and forth. I'll switch back and forth between these two bases all year, so they're both amazing. You could really argue these are the two best bases in the game, to be honest, even better than any of the guard ones. I'm not gonna lie. The only issue with swings is they kind of got trolled on the dribble animations compared to the guards, but that's tough for another day. But Ray Allen, Luka Doncic, Oscar Robertson, very quick, 70-30. And like I said, you're gonna go that notch above on push. So if I went right here, it would have been, I guess I could have went here, but I wanted a little bit more space. So I actually did 2 notches. So this would be pushed technically, I guess, and then there would be a notch above would be here, and then this would be right there. So this is exactly what it did. It would be 2 notches above, I guess. And then max release speed and animation blending. This is how I run the jump shot. This is one of the most well-rounded jump shots in the entire game. Now, in my opinion, the best base in the game, I'm gonna go over that after this because I actually want to go over the jump shot that's very similar to Ray Allen that you can get at a way cheaper price point. So this is pretty much the exact same jump shot, except it has F time stability, and that's Leandro Balmero. I ain't gonna lie, somebody in my comments told me, if you don't know who that is, you don't watch basketball. I'm not gonna lie, I watch mad basketball. I ain't never heard of bro, ever. So maybe I'm tripping. One day I'll really just look bro up and see who this is. But yeah, until then, I could care less. But he got a good jump shot in the game because he has the same jump shot as Ray Allen. The only thing is, it's like slightly different. So let's show you guys. So Ray Allen is low-key faster. This one is slightly slower, and it does a little bit like, got like subtle differences. But for the most part, it's the exact same jump shot, just slower. But you have an F stability that can kind of mess it up sometimes too. But you got to think about it. You're not making it to have a high rating. You're making this jump shot so that you can be able to use it on lower rated builds. So you pretty much can get Ray Allen on lower rated builds because you can use this on a 73 3-ball rating or mid-range rating. So yeah, push, notch above, and then you got the release speed, 70-30, Oscar, Luka. Simple as that. Now, for the other jump shots, Matt Ryan, Luka Doncic, Oscar Robertson, very quick 70-30. I honestly think this is the best combination you can do in the game as of right now. I do have another combination of releases to go over, but for the most part, I do think this is the best combination you can do, and Matt Ryan had to be on here because I do believe that is the best space in the game. The reason why I showed Ray Allen and Balmero is because those are arguably, or Ray Allen is arguably the best base, but you can also use Balmero on lower rated builds and still pretty much have Ray Allen. So I had to make sure I showcased how similar those was as well. But yeah, I really do like Matt Ryan as my favorite base in terms of the swings in the game right now. So if you do want to use either one, this one is actually cheaper, by the way. It does have a lower time stability compared to Ray Allen, so if you care about stuff like that, then that could be your difference. And then last but not least, Delano Banton. I'm not gonna lie, Delano Banton, in terms of being a lock, guard swings, I'm not gonna cap, brother. This joint knocked down. And to replace the Curry, I did Contavious Caldwell-Pope. The Oscar it's like a little too long armed, and it kind of will slow the jump shot down somewhat. So I like going with something a little smoother on the back end. So I do still go my 40-60 like I do on the guards. Max release speed. We're literally using release because that's just smoother and better for Delano Banton because it's so fast, and that is the jump shots for swings. Now, let's go over the bases I didn't really cover. So, I went over Matt Ryan, that's the best base, Ray Allen. I went over the off-brand Ray Allen with the Balmero. We went over Delano Banton right here. Jarrett Culver, if you want a supplement for T-Mac, Jarrett Culver is the base for you. Clyde Drexler, Kevin Huerter. Those are the bases, those are the jump shots, those are the everything for the swings in NBA 2K25. All right, so when it comes to the best swing go-to shots, similar to what I did for the guards, in my opinion, it's kind of same. Now, I got difference though. Instead of there being like a certified one that you can pop, I guess Jalen Green would be the one I would say. So yeah, Jalen Green, in my opinion, if you want to have one that go forward, go step back, I feel like that's the Jalen Green. And shoot off up, I say that would be probably the Jalen Green. But if you want to have the one to pretty much create the separation and dribble out of, I would probably say Jalen Suggs. Another one that's actually probably more similar to Ja Morant for the swings is probably DeLon Wright. It's just not that good. It's just not that good. So yeah, I would probably say DeLon Wright is probably more central for it, but Jalen Suggs is, like I said, for the guards, is good. Tyrese Halliburton is still very good for the swings. It's gonna be kind of more so in that like shooting off of role. Paul George, Kevin Durant, DeMar DeRozan, Jimmy Butler, those are kind of just like I guess the more balanced ones, and yeah, probably more so for shooting off of, but more, I would say these are not really 3-ball ones, these are more so middies, but you can try to get the threes off with it. I don't know if I would do it, but you can. So yeah, those are the ones I personally would recommend for the swings on the go-to shots. Personally. Recommend. And then for the dribble pull-up, now I will say, I do these a lot. I have never heard anybody mention Shaden Sharp. Shaden Sharp is green bean. Shaden Sharp is green bean. Shaden Sharp is definitely one of the best ones in the entire game. I don't know if this was not in the game early in the year. I feel like I would have been hip to it. But Shaden Sharp is green bean. Michael Jordan, in my opinion, one of the best 3-ball shot hunting fades in the game. It's been like that since 23 in my opinion. Kobe Bryant, all around versatile midi demon in my opinion. Kind of like he was in real life. Kobe is very smooth. I don't like it as much for threes as I like MJ for threes, but it's still good for threes. I used it last year on threes, so it's good enough, you know. Then you got ones like Shea. Shea is actually really solid. It's just not as good going the other way, which is kind of the nerf on a lot of these, which is why I say Shaden Sharp is really good. Because going right, going left, in terms of any dribble pull-up in the game, is probably the closest out of anyone. So Shaden Sharp, I probably would recommend the most out of any of the NBA player ones. Devin Booker is very, very good. KCP is very, very good. Pro 2, I mention this all the time. You can use this if you're a small or a swing. You can't use it on bigs, unfortunately, but it is very good. It's usually be the one that I would probably say has the least change going left and right, but I would say Shaden Sharp now, personally. But normal 2. Normal 2 is also very, very good. Very different going left and right, but very, very good going left and right. So yes, dribble pull-ups, swings. Next is the spin jumpers for the swings. Pro is the regular spin jumper I use if like I'm just trying to catch somebody off guard. Late shot clock, I need to get a bucket. Pro is the one I use. Kyle Kuzma is the real like shot creator. I really do this spin jumper for the swings. You really do this. You like doing spin jumpers a lot. Kyle Kuzma is the one for you. Devin Vassell is also very solid. Luka has a little extra step back. Devin Booker is like kind of solid too, but it does a little step in and it is a little slow sometimes. But yeah, those are the ones I personally recommend for the spin jumpers personally. And then for the hop jumpers for the swings, personally, I would probably have to go with normal 2, Jordan Clarkson, James Harden, Drew Holiday actually, Kevin Huerter, Zach LaVine, Shaden Sharp. Those are the ones I personally recommend. Those are all good for shooting off of, creating space, speed boosting out of, dribble combination, all that. Every single one of those are good for that. Zach LaVine is probably more so for shooting off of. Harden is an all-arounder. Clarkson is a combo. Drew is probably more so a shooting off of, but it is a little bit on the slow side. Kevin Huerter is low-key a versatile one. Underrated versatile one, by the way, I might add. But yeah, for the most part, those are the best hop jumpers in the game for swings, personally. All right, so for the dribble styles, for the swings, best dribble style for the swing, let's just go to the available. I'm pretty sure I got all the available ones that you can get on swings on this build. So pretty much the best ones in the game, in my opinion. For swings, I would go DeJounte Murray, Shea, Kobe White. But then you got ones like Zion and Devin Booker that really can be very good in the right hands. And they're all pretty much up there, I would say, and around in the same tier. I personally got a bias for DeJounte Murray. I just really like it. I think it's one of the fastest ones in the game. But if you do have a problem with it because it's not as good rim running, I would say use Shea, Kobe White. Those are better. And then under that tier, I would probably say Devin Booker, Zion. Simple as that. I did a full video ranking every single dribble style. Pretty much that simple. Apparently, I forgot to do Steve Francis dribble style, so shout out to me. But yeah, that's the best dribble styles in the game for swings. Next is the signature size up for swings. Now, I'm going to be honest. If you're not a guard, you're not really getting really good animations outside of certain things. Signature size up is one of those where you take a huge hit. There's no Trae Young. There's no Steve Francis. You can use Zach LaVine, Drew Holiday, Cade Cunningham. Those three are all pretty solid for swings. But for the most part, those are the only three I personally could even possibly recommend. Next is the regular breakdown combos for swings. In my opinion, there's not much to go off. Only this one as well. You got Jason Tatum, Jalen Green. You can use pro, but I really would just use these two, and really depends on how you really want to play with it. Do you want a 3-hunt off of it? Do you want to speed boost into a rim run off of it? It really does come down to that. I think if you really want to rim run with your stuff, I think Jalen Green might be the best one if you want to do both shoot off of it and rim run. But it is kind of easy to like bump. So it really does come down to what you want to do. Next is the aggressive breakdown combo. Now this one you have a little bit more and better options. You got Kobe White, Jason Tatum again, and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is actually pretty solid for some people. I personally don't like it that much, but for a lot of people they like it. I personally like Kobe White the most out of these three, and that's pretty much what it is. And you also could use pro. I just personally would recommend the Kobe White one over any of those. Next is the escape moves. In my opinion, the best one hands down for the swings is honestly Paul George, but Kevin Durant isn't bad. But in my opinion, the best one hands down is Paul George. I just think it's the smoothest, best one out of any of the ones you can use on any swing, personally. All right, next is the combo moves. Depending on how tall you are, you do get different ones. James Harden, or not tall you are, how high a ball handle you have, you can use different ones. James Harden is a very solid one. It's really Devin Booker and James Harden. I personally like James Harden more, but I can't get it on my 6'5". So that's just what it is. But yeah, I would personally recommend James Harden if you can get it. Next is the crossover. Shout out to the people in the comments. I think Black Star is the person that be really on me a lot about LaMelo. But the LaMelo Ball is definitely up there. LaMelo Ball is one of the best crossovers in the game. Do I think it's on the level of De'Aaron Fox and Giannis? Personally, I ain't gonna lie, no. But I do like it for if you want one of those type of crossovers like the De'Aaron Fox, like the Giannis. On a swing, LaMelo is the one for you. LaMelo, but Paul George, if you just want a really good crossover, I think Paul George is also really good. So yeah, best crossovers in the game for swings, LaMelo, Paul George. You also can throw in Luka and Zach LaVine, but yeah, that's just what it is. Next in the game, I will say for behind the back, you can really argue the swings have the best behind the backs in the game. I would say Kawhi Leonard is the best behind the back in the entire game. Like, he has the balance of best moving behind the back and explosive behind the back in the game. Like, Trae Young has a good explosive behind the back, but the moving behind the back is trash to me. So, I'd rather Kawhi Leonard. I even sometimes be using Tyrese Halliburton over Trae Young when I'm on a guard. That's why you see it here. But if I have the options of Tyrese and Kawhi, I'm going Kawhi every single time. And that's pretty much what it is. Next is the move and spin. The best move and spin for swings, in my opinion, is Penny Hardaway. I personally wouldn't recommend anything else. That's just what I would use. Penny Hardaway. Next is the hezzies. I'm not really a big hezzy guy if you can't use Ja. I know a lot of people love Tyrese Halliburton, so I did throw it in the video for y'all boys. So Tyrese Halliburton, but I really don't like any of these. Kevin Durant, normal, Hallie, none of them are on the same level of Ja in my opinion, personally. And then next is the step back. You pretty much got the best ones in the game. You got the LaVine, the Luka, the Devin Booker, the Tyrese Halliburton. These are all very good, and you can't go really wrong for any of these. I would just say Hallie has a different use than Luka, Devin Booker, or Zach LaVine, but all four of these are very good in the right hands, using it the right way. So yeah, that's just what I'll say for the step backs. And then last but not least, the best triple style. It don't really matter what you talking about, guard, swing, big. This is just the best thing in the game, in my opinion. Michael Jordan, Curry, Kobe, Devin Booker, they not on the same level. They're okay. They're not on the same level, in my opinion. Michael Jordan, it's been that since day one. Yeah, Michael Jordan. That's simple. All right, hopping into it. When it comes to the best dunk packages in the game, we're going to go over everything, and then we're going to split it up. So, when it comes to everything, you can use this on any build. Let's get into it. In my opinion, the best dunk package is two hands. Athletic hangs off one. You only need a 65-45 vertical. In my opinion, one of the best bang for your buck dunks or animations in the entire game. Very good. You're gonna dunk from far. You're gonna get the limitless takeoff dunks, and you're gonna be able to get this a lot. And it won't take you out the animation. It's just about will you get the animation that you want. But there's not really no bad animation in it. That's why I do like still going with one of these 1 foot, 2 foot moving dunks before getting to the NBA players. Now, quick drops off one. This is a dunk that you have to be starter for to get, but this is one of the best dunks in the entirety of the game. So 2 hands for safety, quick drops, hangs, both of these elite dunk packages. Now, next, another dunk that's very good, but you do have to have a little bit higher switcheroo. If I am putting on a one hand and I'm not putting on an NBA player, this is definitely the dunk package, and it doesn't really matter what you are, a big, a guard, a swing. You can put this on any build and you'll be fine. Now, that's pretty much all the dunk package I'm going to go over for that. Now, contact dunks. Contact dunks, in my opinion, yeah, I think contact dunks are at the utmost importance this year. I feel like if you put them all on, you're going to get more. When you put more on, you get more animations for more situations, depending on where you're coming from and where the defender is. But if you do have a 99, it is such a high requirement that I would personally only put on the 96, 82, and the 99, 90. If you put the work in to get this, I would just put those on. That's just my opinion of it. Because look at the gap. 89, 99. 87, 96. It's such a huge gap that I feel like, bro, get what you paid for, and that's just what I do. Now, to go alongside that, the best standing dunks. In my opinion, the best standing dunk in the game is two-hand under basket regular. Only one I would even consider that's out of these standing dunks is the pro under basket rim pull. You can go with some of these other ones if you want to, but I try to go for two hands for safety every single time when I'm on a big man, especially when I'm doing a standing dunk, and standing dunks are very, very good. Now, when it comes to the contact dunks, kind of similar to what I was saying for contact dunks for driving, in my opinion, though, it's more important to do these for your bigs than it is for your guards, because you do be able to do the dunk meter, but you're not doing dunk meter nearly as much if you're big. So I would put on both of these if you can. If you just get one, just put on the one that you get. But even if you have the elite, I would put on both. I wouldn't just put on the elite ones like I did for the guards. That's just what it is. In my opinion, get what you paid for, but if you want to get more in general, put on both. It's kind of the same as what I said for the contact dunk regulars. And then when it comes to the alley-oops, now, this is how we're going to break it down. If you're a big man, pro. If you're a big man, a lock, you need pro. That's just what it is. You can put on these other ones. I just wouldn't put on pro if I'm not a big man or a lock, because this is the only way you can get the standing alley-oops. If you wanted to be able to do standing alley-oops, say for instance, you're standing on the block, you want to be able to catch that, be able to dunk that, consistency, pro. But when it comes to doing anything else that's a lob, flashy, cutting, anything like that, Elite, Zion are the ones that you personally would want to go for. Now, one thing I say, I don't really put on a lot of these city dunks, city alley-oops. The only build I really have them on is this one because it has a 99 dunk. So I do want to do some crazy stuff when I am dunking on this build. So you do see me with more city alley-oops, city dunks on this build compared to my other builds. But I don't really see the purpose of it. The only one I personally would even put on is the city alley-oops on any other build because it's an alley-oop. It's a lot harder to stop. It's just what it is. And when I do an alley-oop, I want it to be nasty. So yeah, that's kind of the thought process to the city alley-oops. So yeah. Now, when it comes to contact alley-oops. Now, contact alley-oops is the thing that you have the least control over out of any alley-oop. So I went over the guards. I said, bro, if you get the elites, get what you paid for, put that on. But if you do put on more, you get more contact dunks because you have more animation for more situations. Everything I said about that, everything I said about the big, combined even more with this contact alley-oops, because if you don't have a guard that knows what they're doing to force a contact alley-oop, you have no chance. But you have no dunk meter for it. You have the alley-oop meter, but it doesn't. The dunk meter pretty much gives you the most aggressive dunk possible. The alley-oop meter just pretty much is the difference between making and missing an alley-oop. So, yeah, I will put on as many of these as you possibly can. And contact alley-oops is just a way that you can get a bailout point in a possession. It's a way that you can pick and roll. If you're big, it's going to be pretty important to have. It's just going to be important to have no matter what. That's why I say if you see me make a lot of builds, I be going for 84 because you only need an 84 driving dunk to be able to have at least one set of contact alley-oops. You can get contact dunks without even having contact dunks just by having contact alley-oops. So I do think it is important to be able to have these on because it is a very, very nice thing to have in this game. So yes, contact alley-oops for surely would recommend. Now for my swings. Pretty similar. Klay Thompson instead of Malik Monk. Now you're going LeBron James, which is debatably the best dunk package in the game. It is extremely good. And then Russell Westbrook, which I would say is the best dunk package in the game. But LeBron James is up there. LeBron James is very, very good. But yeah, low rating Klay, mid rating LeBron. And then for the high end, Russell Westbrook, which is the best dunk package in the entirety of the game. Now, when it comes to the best layups in the game for swings, it really does boil down to what can you get. Like I said, for the guards, small and swing, some of the best layups you can get in the game. I would say those are the best bang for your buck layups in the game. You can't really go wrong with a default small or swing. I don't have it favorited. It should have been favorited, but swing is very good just like the small. But when it comes to other ones that you guys can get, you actually can use Shea on a swing. This is one of the best ones in the game that's on a guard that you can get on a swing. I do think Malik Monk is the best one in the game now. I know when I did my video, I had LeBron as number one, I believe. I think Malik Monk is the best one in the game. But LeBron is very, very good. LeBron is very, very good. So I don't think you can go really wrong with this. I low-key made like kind of like a Ben Simmons build. I'll be having some troll games on there. Yeah, I think LeBron, Shea, and I really be using small on there. They all go crazy. But Zion is a sleeper for swings. Sleeper. I think it's also one of the best ones in the game for bigs, but that'll be another portion. So yeah, that's the layups I probably would personally have to recommend for swings. Hopping into it, pass style. Pass style, I'ma be real. I seen somebody say in the comments Donovan Mitchell is better than Tyrese Halliburton. I highly disagree. I tried this in a pro-am game, bro. I don't think y'all even really fully understand like the balance that Tyrese Halliburton has. Getting the ball out your hands as a point guard. When you're playing against, like, bro, I'm gonna be real. When you're playing guard on this game, you're gonna go against a 99 lot with pretty much both 99 steal and 99 perimeter defense. They're gonna have over 90 agility. They're gonna have around 90 speed. They're gonna have strength. Like, these builds are just strictly catered to stick defense. You don't really have time for wasted motions in terms of dribbling or passing the ball. So you need the best pass style in the game. Now, I will say, if you say anything be under 89 that's not Shea, I haven't had the opportunity to test. I haven't. I'm working on it. I haven't had the opportunity to test. So that's the only thing I'll say. But for the most part, when it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, that is the best pass style in the game. The only ones I will probably say I can't really say anything on, Luka Doncic, Darius Garland, Chris Paul. Those are the only ones I can't say anything on. Only ones. I've tested Shea. It was good. It wasn't 7 attributes on pass accuracy better. It wasn't worth it, in my opinion. So that's just what it is. But yeah, Tyrese Halliburton getting the ball out your hands fast. Tyrese Halliburton passing it, the ball speed, the pass speed, fast. Bro, it does everything that you want. It gives you the catches, all that. The difference between none and Tyrese Halliburton is none, in my opinion, horrible catch animations. That's the issue with it, in my opinion. The catch animation that people get with none is just not consistent. The issue with Tyrese Halliburton for me is the lobs. When you're trying to throw people lobs, it literally does like the longest lob pass possible. So it'll like oop it, like it'll take a long time for it to get to the person. So it can be a lot easier to steal. But outside of that, there's no flaw. There's literally no flaw. Same thing, I would probably say the same thing with LaMelo, except LaMelo is just not as good as Tyrese, but it is good. But Donovan Mitchell, the only issue I have with it is it takes, like, it's not bad, but compared to Tyrese Halliburton, just to get the ball out your hands, it just is a troll. It just is, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the pass styles. Y'all know my tiers: none, Tyrese Halliburton, and then whatever you want to get after that. Simple as that. That's especially when you think about 89 pass accuracy, the bang for your buck, what you get at 89 in the builder. I just think that's just hand in hand, personally. Next is the best motion styles for swings. I'm gonna be honest, motion styles, it does come down to how you want to play. So I had to do some research on which ones was the best ones right now, currently. So we're gonna go over that. But for the most part of the year, you couldn't go wrong with Jalen Suggs, Dennis Rodman, Drew Eubanks. All those are really good. And if you're really a lock, I think Kawhi is very good because that's one of the only like defensive stance, lateral slide motion styles in the game. And I think it's Kawhi. Kind of goes with it. But the best two right now in the game for swings is Jalen Smith and Kyle Kuzma. Those two, in my opinion, are the best balance. If you don't know, you get a different speed for offense and defense, and in the testings, those seem to be the two best ones. So yeah, that's what I'll say for the motion styles for season. But yeah, man, that's gonna be the end of this video. That's gonna be the swing animations, dunks, layups, pass style, motion style, jump shots, fade animations. It doesn't matter. Everything you need, more dribble animations included. Y'all do want more of these. Big man. I know y'all need y'all own video. I did the guards, did the swings today. Y'all do need more. Like the video, subscribe, show the support in any way you can. Comment down below, help the algorithm. Share the video that anybody think will help or enjoy. Turn on notifications, be the first to all the videos. Without further ado though, man. It's your boy Fitz, man. I'm out there, man.
I got digital dash, came right with a I walk in the store and I bought the stock. I hide in the bins and pull off the lot. Got Tiffany diamond, it cost me a lot. They flying like birds.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!